Okay, so first off, according to an article posted by Brock University, host families have been uncovered as important social support systems when studying junior hockey athlete experiences. What's your opinions on that?
I can't stress how important host families are for junior A players away from home. Maybe that would depend on the player and the type of home life that they have and how involved they are with their family. But for my son, Ash, it's extremely important. We have a very tight family relationship and we're very involved as mother and son, and with his brother. We're very close family ties.
Yeah.
So having an experience where he feels part of the family and he feels included in the family and in their events and their day-to-day life has been really important for him. His first experience away from home, the family were lovely. They were wonderful people, but they were extremely busy. And they didn't have a lot of group time. And Ash they had 4 sons younger than him. So they didn't have a lot of time that they were all home at the same time.
Yeah.
So that was really, really hard for him. He didn't feel like he was part of a family, and it was kind of like a really busy household, and he spent a lot of time in his bedroom, and that was really hard for him socially and mentally.
Yeah. So with that being said, do you think that you've seen improvements in his mental health from his one billet family to the next with his teams, just all over his social mental health as well?
The difference has been remarkable. This year, his host family, they have 2 younger kids who are both hockey players, but they go to his games and he goes to their games and they're involved, and he's home in the evenings when they're home. So they eat supper together every night and they do things together, and it shows on the ice and it shows with his team. Mm-hmm. Hockey is very much a mental game as much as a physical game.
Yeah.
And mentally, I know for my son in particular, he needs the team atmosphere and the family environment to be his best. And his performance on the ice this year and the amount of support that he needs from me emotionally is way different than last year.
Yeah.
It's been tremendous, the change in him.
Yeah. I've definitely, from interviewing him, he has said the same thing. It's definitely, he misses home, he misses you, but does not miss being home as much as he did then, because he has that support and he has a family that is willing to do stuff with him, and kids that are home want to do stuff. He said he never wishes he had a younger brother, but he definitely has them now.
Yeah, he did. And the youngest one is a miniature version of him.
Yeah. So saying all of that, do you think that billeting plays a role in his performance? Do you think that when he was home, he'd be playing differently than if he was away from home?
Yeah, so if Ash could be home with me and play the same level of hockey, if we had that opportunity here, I don't think he'd be playing any differently than he is now, because the environment that he's in with the support, and it's not like the billet family themselves are extremely important, but it's also the team environment.
Yes.
So last year he was in a situation where he was the only person on the team who was billeting. So he was the only one who had, everybody else just kind of lived their normal life. They went to school, they did whatever. And then in the evening they played hockey.
Yeah.
And Ash had a very different lifestyle. This year he's on a team where most everybody, like more than 3/4 of the team, are billeting. So it's not only the host family themselves, it's the whole team environment.
So knowing that he has a really good billet family, where he is, he loves right now, and that his team's very supportive, you from your sidelines, from an outside perspective, but you are the one that obviously funds this, you send the money to them. Do you think you're getting your money's worth out of it?
100%. There is not one single month that I've had to send money to this team that I feel like I wish I wasn't. Yeah, it's the return has been well worth it.
Yeah.
To see his development, and I mean, anytime that you go away, it's the experience, right? So not only billeting, Ash also went to a prep school, and he had the residence experience where that was different again.
Yes.
All different experiences. And anywhere that you can send your child as a parent, where they not only develop their craft and they get to hone their skills, but when they get life experiences that make them better people, it's always worth it.
Yeah.
And last year, I it wasn't a positive experience, not at all. But this year it's been well worth it. Yeah, for sure.
You can definitely see it in his performance and his points right now, even though they're not where he wants them to be, they're definitely better. And
well, having the support of, and they have a routine.
Yeah.
This team has, you have to have check-in every single day. You have curfew, and he's bought into the system so well because he knows the benefits are there. And having a host family who's used to that, so they know the meals, how important they are, and having certain foods for certain game times and stuff like that. And they're used to providing that has made the transition so much easier for him.
Yeah. So you said his performance and everything. The next one that I was going to ask you, it's based off of another research article, and it says an athlete's ability to effectively balance stress and recovery is essential to their performance and requires appropriate management throughout the competitive season. How do you think Ash balances that? Do you think he's good with that, getting better?
He's always been good with that. He's always known the importance of that. We always did the things at home, like regular massage therapy appointments, dietitian appointments, so that he could follow his nutrition, following meal plans and everything like that. And when he went to Notre Dame, that was encouraged as well, and the facilities had all of the tools that he needed. Last year, it was hard for him. It was really hard because at 18 years old, he didn't have a car. So he relied on DoorDash a lot because a lot of the meals weren't provided. And nutrition wasn't really as big in their house as it is in our house. So things would have been a little bit harder for him in that regard.
So the last question I'm going to ask you is, are you happy with where he's at now? His mental state, his attitude, performance, are you happy?
I'm ecstatic with where he is now. I can see with him not having to think about meals, and with him having the routine that's there and that's fostered by the team, by the family, by the whole community, because the community support has been there. It takes so much stress off him that he's able to focus on his game more. He's able to be happy with his game. And he's growing, and he's taking on so much more and striving to be so much more that there's no way I couldn't be happy. I see growth in him every single week. His performance on the ice is better than I've ever seen.
That's really good. It's nice to hear that he has a good experience right now, even though in the past it wasn't amazing.
Yeah, last year I was a little afraid that might be his last year, so I'm glad that he stuck with it. Found a team that was a better fit for him. Locked into a wonderful family, and it's been absolutely positive. So it's exciting to see what the future holds.
Yeah, it is. Thank you so much for answering some questions today.
You're very welcome.
Hi, my name's Harry Smith. I'm from Conception Bay South, Newfoundland and Labrador. Last year, 2 years ago, I moved to Toronto, Ontario to start playing hockey at a higher level away from home. Last year, I played junior A hockey here in Toronto. And then this year, I gave up playing to referee full time. And now I referee junior, all levels of junior, OUA, and I have the hopes of refereeing professional hockey in the near future.
Okay. So you obviously moved here. Did you enjoy playing away from home, moving away?
Yeah, it was the greatest experience of my life, honestly. It let me meet so many new people and get out of coming from a smaller town in Newfoundland. It let me really see that you're a big fish in a small pond. And when you leave, you get those experiences to meet new people and start from fresh. It can be very intimidating at first and difficult, but if you put the right foot forward, it was honestly the best experience of my life and the best decision I've ever made.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that. A lot of people are saying that. What did you find your mental health was like as you were going through that? Obviously, it was a great time, but you were away from home. Did you have a social group around you? Did you have that support?
Yeah, so how I like to look at it is kind of like a roller coaster. There's really high times that are great, and there's really big lows, right? There's days that are great, weeks that are great, and then same thing for being bad. January, February of every year is always a really tough time, right? Because you're away for so long, everything's going well, then you go home, short break for Christmas, might only be a couple days, and then you're right back into it, and it's just the dog days of the year, as we call it. But it can be straining mentally, and it can also be tough socially, right? I mean, you have so many teammates, but you also see them all day, every day, that they're really your only social life. And if you're in a spot like,
So as a high performance athlete, obviously you moved away from home, you have to keep up with certain things. What was your schedule like between hockey? Did you work a lot?
yeah, so I was kind of an anomaly in some ways. Not a lot of guys were doing what I was doing, but I was playing hockey. I was also going to school and online, and then I was also working at the time. And then I mean, I lived. It was taking care of yourself, right? So cooking and providing for yourself in that way. So the schedule was it was very busy. A lot of days it was schoolwork in the morning, and then you make your lunch, you make a dinner to go, and then you go to practice, then you go referee, right? That was the most of it.
Yeah.
And then a lot of days I'd wake up and coach the next morning, right? So it was definitely a battle. I mean, I was spending probably, I think it was 25 hours on average on the ice a week, which
Yeah.
is tough, right?
And as you said, you were cooking your own meals. Do you think that they were up to your nutrition standards because you were such a high performance athlete? Did you get your proteins, carbs? Did you find the time to make those meals for yourself?
I've gotten better at it the more I've lived here. And meal prep is a great thing. I think it comes and goes as well, right? It depends
Mhm.
on your energy and your time, and how much you're willing to put into it. For the most part, I've gotten a lot better. Uh, but I mean, I'm like any teenage guy that's living on their own. It's I don't think it was the best of meals. Now it's definitely gotten better, and I've cut out a lot of processed foods and stuff living away this year. But that comes with maturity. My first 2 years here was when I was cooking for myself, fending for myself, there was a lot of processed foods and just throwing something in quickly.
Yeah.
Probably only a good meal half the time, and then the other half the time was chicken fingers, taquitos, chicken burgers, that type of thing.
Do you think that played any role in your performance at all?
Oh, 100%. I I definitely would have been better recovered and moving better out there if I'd spent more time in the kitchen. But to that point as well, I didn't really have the time to spend in the kitchen, so
Mhm.
it was like, what do you do? It When I was eating better, I was feeling better, and I was doing better for sure. But it's when you have so many things that you need to do and that you have on your plate, a lot of the times we neglect. Right? What's the first thing to neglect? Well, the kitchen, and then after that, it's normally the gym. Right? So
Yeah.
uh, that's just how it goes, especially as an athlete.
Oh, yeah. So, as you were a former player, but you're also a current ref, do you ever see a difference between the performance of players who are away from home or the ones that are local?
Yeah, it's actually really good question. I find a lot of players that are really good players, like top level players, they obviously do well wherever they go.
Mhm.
But the guys that aren't playing on the first line, getting power play or whatever it may be in whatever sport, not the top play, the guys that aren't the top players, I find normally tend to struggle a lot, right?
Mhm.
And that's because you're away from home, and it's what's what's the purpose a lot of the times. That's really tough mentally. And a lot of these guys as well, they need that. Maybe they're not taking as good of care of their nutrition or their bodies as they would if they were at home, or their social and their mental health. And when those pieces start to fall, it really affects their game more than the top level players, right?
Yeah.
And like confidence is such a big thing. It's hard to be confident when you're living away from home and you're struggling to stay in the lineup or get the minutes that you think you deserve, right? So it's your
Yeah.
whole life, and you dedicate everything to it. So it's tough, right? Whereas the players that live here at least have that outlet, and you definitely see that, right? The guys that are in the middle of the pack definitely struggle a lot more mentally.
Yeah. So, with all of that being said, what would your advice be to someone who is moving, either living on their own or with like their billeting? What would your advice be?
Um, I think the best advice would be to just plan things out as much as possible in advance, right? And think about it as like, okay, this is why I'm going here, this is my purpose, and lay everything out so then there's not as many of those highs and lows, right? If we
Mhm.
can stay a little more steady state the whole time, and or the lows aren't as low and the highs aren't as high, that's a good thing. And for everyone that's different, but if we can get to that level, then we're going to be good. I mean, if you're billeting, I think finding a good billet, a good family or a good person to be with that fits your personality is massive. And then if you're living alone, it's just pulling up your pants and being ready to battle, right? And there's going to be days that are grinds, but you have to have that discipline, right? So I just think it's going into it with a proper mindset and planning things out. That's the best advice that I could give.
Oh, well, that's perfect. Thank you so much for answering the questions. It was nice hearing your perspective on this.
Perfect. Thank you so much.